OPPC, and thank you for being here. I have Dave Meyer here with us. He is an elder here at the church and an integral part of our Thriving Congregations core team. And I wanted all of you to get to know him a little better and get to know what he's been learning and let Dave give us a little bit of insight on all the things. So we have 3 questions for you today. And the first one is, what is Thriving Congregations for you?
Yeah, so it's interesting because I think the word thriving actually has a lot in it. And I think the key bit to me is to think of thriving versus surviving. And so thriving congregations to me is kind of representing that our congregation, we could survive, but that's not kind of where we're called. Like what God wants from us is for us to have and be an abundance. And so thriving congregations, the kind of larger group at the Presbyterian and then the group here at our church, we're working to try to figure out, how does that look, right? What does it mean for us to be there? There's a lot that you can kind of tell once it's happened, but we're trying to figure out, how do we get there from where we currently are? Because we don't think that we're necessarily up to the thriving point yet. And that's kind of the question. How do we try to get there from where we are right now?
No, that's really good. Well, and we've been in Thriving Congregations for a year now. So the next question for you is, what is your biggest learning from this past year?
Yeah, so I think the biggest learning from this past year for me has been how important it is for us to know ourselves in order to make this work proceed. We spent a lot of time, we've spent a lot of time trying to chase down ideas of what other organizations could we partner with, what would partnering look like as opposed to just financially supporting. And one of the things that kind of ends up rolling back on that is to say, well, it's all fine and good to say that this could happen, but should it happen? Is this the right thing to have happen? And it's not to say that any of the organizations that we've talked to are worse than any of the others, but it is more to say that we need to know ourselves and what we are thrilled by and empowered by and energized by, so that we can figure out who in our surrounding communities, who possibly plural in our surrounding community, are we going to form a partnership with, where we're actually going to see thriving happen, not just surviving, not just, oh, we participated. It's like, no, we want to be partners. But again, I think the learning for me is that we still have learning to do about who we are, so that we can figure out how to, like, what is the right way to try to proceed.
That's so good. Well, I can tell the way that you're sharing, you're pretty excited about all the stuff that's happening and that will start to happen, and that the congregation is going to start to see. Well, what are you most excited to share with the congregation about your learning?
So I think actually what I'm most excited to share about our learning is our learning. One of the things that I am really looking forward to, we've had a lot of discussions in our group trying to figure out what's going on and what kinds of things should we be trying to do and all this. And I'm looking forward to the point where we have a solid enough idea and set of ideas that we can really open the conversation up and do, I don't know if it will necessarily be small groups, but have conversations with other people in the congregation outside of just the Thriving Congregations group. I think it will be exciting to kind of share some more details about what kinds of things we're seeing. And I'm also really looking forward to getting feedback, right? Hearing what also resonates with other people in the congregation? What stuff doesn't resonate so well? Where should we focus our efforts? And so I think, I'm really looking forward to that, because I feel like it's going to be a good step along the way towards something amazing.
That's awesome. Well, Dave, thank you so much for sharing. This is such an awesome experience that OPPC gets to do with the Seattle Presbytery and the thriving congregations. So OPPC, be ready for some things on the horizon. There is stuff that's going to happen. Let's get excited. Thank you, David.
Thank you.